Okay, welcome back. Today we are going to look at the extensibility concepts. The extensibility, as we have discussed, there are two types of extensibilities: in-app extensibility and side-by-side extensibility. So whatever the extensions that we do on our BTP, they are called side-by-side extensions. So if you write any a local or temporary program that is completely being developed using the OData services of your on-premise system and any other other systems, and that is deployed onto BTP, then that is called a side-by-side extension. And also, if you use any of the existing applications or existing the services of BTP, then that is also a side-by-side extension. Also, coming to the database, HANA database on BTP, usage of the HANA database on BTP according to the business requirements, whereas they are running on on-premise, but instead of developing their extensions or enhancements or new programs on their on-premise system, they are creating using the BTP account, BTP platform. So then they are all called side-by-side extensions. And whatever the customer creates on their on-premise system, they are called in-app extensibilities. So in-app extensibilities, it can be a new program or it can be a new application. They all called in-app extensibilities. But in-app extensibilities, there are the types of extensibilities according to the users. So end user point of view, that's not going to be any extensibility, that's going to be the personalization. But before that, below that, or above that, we will be having key users. And there are some capabilities developed by SAP, keeping the key users in mind. And the next layer is going to be the developer. So the developers, they have their own freedom of developing the new programs and new applications or etc. They involve all complex logics, and from there the enhancements or extensions are created onto the S/4HANA system. And so far we have seen how we create our programs such as the CDS views or OData services or Fiori applications or using the templates and etc. So they all involve the complete developer minds, and hence the programs will be deployed. But in terms of key users, so they won't be able to develop things like a developer, but they also have some easy mechanisms, whereas it's not specifically for key users. Even developers can use those features to ease or fasten the developments within the timelines, within the project timelines. So as part of that one, so SAP has delivered the Fiori applications for key users and developers, whereas they can use those applications and create some of the extensions. It can be a new OData service, or it can be an extension to the OData service, or it can be a new CDS view, or it can be an extension to the CDS view, or it can be a new class. Whereas the class, if we create it and we can make use of this in other places, or it can be a complete a BOPF based application. So for all of these, we will be using this Fiori applications delivered by SAP. So for that, I have created a separate group for us, so called Thara developers. If you log into your Fiori Launchpad, you will be able to see these Thara developers group available to you. And if you look at these tiles under these Thara developers, these all the tiles are supported for key users and also for the developers, whereas they can straight away go ahead and create the extensions or extend the existing extensions or configure the things in the system and etc. So for this one, if you want to know what are these extensibilities, on-premise extensibilities provided by SAP and etc. So I have this URL placed here. Uh, okay, that's fine. So I think let me go into here, and in this drive I have placed the file, the useful URLs. Let us download this one, the latest version of it. Yeah, it is downloaded. And this one, you will see the extensibility URL right beginning. So you just copy this one and try to open it. Or if you want to search on the web, so it's just the SAP S/4HANA extensibility concepts. Okay. So in this extensibility, if you see, we have SAP Fiori applications here, and we already started seeing all these application logs, application jobs, and etc. And underneath it, we have app specific implementation tab. So these are all some of the applications. So I'm not saying all the entire list, only these are the entire list of applications, not like that. So these are some of those applications, and there is a dedicated documentation available for these applications here. So if you look at some of the applications, let me pick up one of the application here. So for example, custom fields and logics. Custom fields and logic. So what does this do in the extension? So for these ones, like how we have our Fiori apps library, this is kind of it, but even this one can be found in the Fiori apps library. So let me go into the Fiori apps library, and from here you can get that custom fields and logic application, and straight away you will be able to find the relevant documentation for that particular app. So custom fields and logic. So if you see here, custom fields and logic is the application provided by SAP, and in this case we have the respective versions. Our version is 2021, and from here we know how we need to implement this application. But here if you see app documentation, so if you look at this app documentation, this is the entire or specific documentation only for this custom fields and logic, how we need to use this extensibility app, and how we will be creating, and why, and what is the purpose of this app as well. So in this case, custom fields and logic, how to create custom fields and everything, how does this work and etc. So the main purpose of this one is, if we want to extend any of the existing OData service, then we will be using these custom fields. So if we want to add any new field into the into the OData service. Then this is the place where we don't even need to look for any baddies or something like that. We can straight away come here. Let me go here, custom fields and logic, custom logic, custom, yeah, I think both are same. So custom logic, and inside the custom logic itself we have the custom fields and logic. Yes, let me go into this custom logic, and if you see custom fields and logic, so seems the name has been changed. That's fine. Tile name has been changed, but app is still same. And once we get into this one, it will load the entire library that of the OData services, whatever we have in the system, and it will provide us the list. Then we can pick up a specific service from that one, and we can add our new field into that. So if you see here, open the app, create custom fields, edit custom fields, publish custom fields. So these are the only steps we need to do it. But these apps are available in S4HANA Cloud as well. So in S4HANA Cloud, even we have a little step forward, and we have an option to generate a UI as well for that one, for custom business objects that we will see in a while. And in this case, edit custom fields, enable logic. What are all the things available here? UIs and reports, email templates, form templates, business scenarios, OData API, SOAP APIs, BAPIs, iDocs, everything. So all these objects are enabled in this custom fields and logic. So if you want to extend any of these, it's first place you can come into is this custom logic, custom fields and logic. So let us check. Yes. So now if you see here, custom fields, data source extension, and custom logic, these are the three tabs available for us. So this is custom implementations. If I go to the custom fields here, in this custom fields here we have create button. If I click on create, it will give me the list of business context, and this list which we have seen there, this is all the list of the BAPIs or iDocs, OData services, and etc. They all whatever are enabled the business as a business service from the system, they all will be listed down here. So if we want to pick up any please go on mute, please. Yeah, thank you. So if we want to see customer core view, for example, or cost center master data, so usually it will take time to get activated, but let us try to pick up something which is a lightweight equipment. I'm not sure what that is. So if you are working on any of the customer industry, I mean the business sector, so they all, you can see right now the relevant things here. For example, bill of materials and etc. So master data, business partner. Let me pick up this one. For example, I have chosen the business partner. I'm giving the label Tara custom, for example. So this is the field name it is going to create in the OData service, and what are the levels it is going to extend. So this particular one, whenever we activate this one, it's going to extend all the underlying layers. So now we have selected the OData service, business partner, master data business partner layer, and it is going to extend the following or respective CDS views, database tables, OData service, and everything. So everything is going to be extended automatically when we create an extension or add a new field using this one. So what type of this one is? So these are all the types that are available for us, data types. So whether it is going to be an email address or a text or a timestamp, whatever. So let me say this one is going to be the text field. So the text field length is going to be 20. That's fine. So let me create it. Yes.
Before we click on creator, so yeah, custom fields and logics itself is not an application, Fiori application, something like create sales order, right?
Yes.
This application lets you extend other applications, which
Correct.
other standard applications which are available.
Yes. Other
Now we have
services.
selected,
Yeah.
yeah, now we have selected a business context. Here we have chosen master data business partner.
Business partner. Yes.
Now, how can you know that this is a OData service or itself is a UI application or a CDS view?
So this master data area, uh, that's a good question. And this one, we will be coming or knowing from our business requirements that what area we need to create a new field. Okay, so this is going to be a custom field. I think this is again a basis setting where, okay, so now we have chosen business partner area, right? Now we will see all the details. Sorry. So where and all this particular master data business partner is being used, and we will see all those scenarios here. So if you see the graded one, UIs and reports, email templates, and etc. SOAP APIs, BAPIS 0, IDOCS 0, and UIs and reports. There are seven objects where this is being used. So if I click on this UIs and report, and if you see here business partner field usage, this is disabled, and if you want to enable this one, we can enable for particular usage. Accordingly, it goes and enables our field in that particular services. So if you see here, this OData service for business partner, it is disabled at the moment. If I enable usage, it's going to enable our usage in that particular OData service, OData extension model for business partner API. And if you see a wrap view for business partner, OData service for customer, OData service for supplier. So if you want this field to be available in all any of these ones, so we have, so earlier there was no such provisioning. So whenever we create a field there, it was automatically going and extending in all the places. But we have this option to enable wherever it is required. So on wherever we don't want, we have that control. So, and these are all the places where this business partner is being used. So right now we have extended this field in OData service for business partner. And if you want to enable me this for OData service customer as well, I can enable the usage. And let me go to email templates. There is nothing in the email templates and SOAP APIs. If you see, so these are all the SOAP APIs, three SOAP APIs where this business partner interface is being used. So this interface, in the sense, I think that is completely the database relevant, the master data business partner interfaces, whatever involves the I think BUT 000 table, I'm guessing. So these are all the things are published out from this system. So in this case, let us go ahead and save this one. So this is being saved at the moment, and unless we publish this change, it's not going to affect anything. So if we save it, it will be just in saved status. And once we save this one, the publish button is enabled here. So let us go ahead and publish this one. So now the status, it says it is publishing. Okay. So this is the field name, and this is being published in the system. Once it is published, it will come back. And similarly, if you see the data source extensions, and this data source is whenever we say the data source, it's going to be the CDS view here, and these are all the CDS views that are available for extension. And for example, let me pick up some group journal entry item. That's a massive, but I don't want that one. Outbound delivery payment request. Is there anything? Trial balance, supplier line items. And where is this one? Cost center actuals. So let me pick this one, cost center actuals. And this is what is going to be the data source extension. I'll say DSEXT. So this is going to be the extension ID going to be created. And before that, cost center actuals. Let us see if we have anything in this. Invalid search parameter. How can we? No. If we know the description, and let me go ahead and create this one. Yeah, it is not showing us the technical names where all it's going to be extended. Let us see if we get some. So if you see here, we have the CDSU name as well. Wait a moment, it's loading. But that drop down display actually should be included. And in this one, cost center extended data source is this one. So let us go ahead and open this one in the system. So if you see, this is the CDSU here. Okay, let me open the CDSU. And in this CDSU, we don't have any extension at the moment. Okay, so the extension, it's not going to be included anything in the inside the CDSU. So like how we have created the extension to the CDSU, it's going to enable a spiral icon left side. So field selection, and the it is selecting the fields from journal entry item cube. Is that true? Define view, and yeah, so select from, this is what the source for that particular CDSU. If you see yes, And if you expand this one, we have the all the list of fields basically from this journal entry item cube. They will be loaded. If whatever the fields we select, then those fields will be added into the extension. So let us wait for this one. So if you see here, source ledger, company code, and all these fields are part of that one. But whatever is not available, those fields we should be uh, uh, selecting and adding into the list for extension. Okay, so let me. So these fields, some of the fields saying they are deprecated. Do we have the sales org here? Sales organization is not involved. So let us choose the sales organization, select, and also where is the sales organization? Is there a code? No code, no sales organization code, is it? Okay, that's fine. And let me choose ship to party, sold material name, WBS element name, and district name, WBS, not district, division. Somewhere I saw the division, company name, division name, distribution channel name. So these are all the fields that I'm trying to add from that particular CDSU. And in this place, if you see, they all getting added with this ZZ1 underscore sales organization name. And if we don't want this field to be like this, then we have an option to, sorry, must start with. So this is the configuration that we have done. So these the fields must add with the ZZ1, and this configuration will be done by the basis consultant, whereas whatever the in-app extensions that we create using these developer extensibility options or the key user extensibility options, they are going to be started with ZZ1, or they can configure to start with YY1 or something. So that is depending upon the configuration. So whereas I did this configuration, so if we want to change that one, we can change, but we are not going there. This name, whatever we are seeing here, if we want to change this name, we can change this sales organization name. But as it is the meaningful name at the moment, we are not intending to change this name. But here, if you see the tooltip and the custom text is enabled, and if you click on this custom text, these label and tooltip will be enabled for our editing. But apart from that, so this description, whichever is coming automatically from the CDS, it could be from data element, or it could be from what is that, the end user text dot label annotation, whatever. So these descriptions are straight away coming from there. And let me go down. Okay, and so actions. So that's fine. So if we want to delete this field, we can delete this field from here. And if you want to look in the tree from left side, so that's what that's gonna do. That's fine. So for now, I'm just saving this. And if we have any custom texts involved or included in this particular fields, then this is going to be again a translation point of view. So even in that case, we have this translation tab available here. So if you maintain any of the custom fields, then if we come here and we can add the translations in this uh, uh, area itself. Okay, so let me publish this one as well. So it is getting published at the moment, and let's go back to our custom fields. Still our custom fields is getting published. uh, okay, so as we are publishing already one of the object, it is not allowing us to publish another object. That's okay. I think it's gonna take longer than what we have expected. So custom fields, and this custom logic, whatever we see here, and this custom logic is going to enable once this custom field has been published. So okay, you have added your custom field, that's fine. So what is the data source for this one, from where this field has to get populated? So we know this is going to be enhanced in all the places, but do you really want that database table to be a source for your field, and how this field is getting filled up? So that is what is the custom logic will determine. And if you go to custom logic, and if you create any of the custom logic for any of this particular field available as a service here, you can pick up, let's say, and baddie description. So change result of check, adjust tolerance check, or change the business completion date of approval of the whatever. So whatever the baddies are available for this one, it shows that the methods, in terms of methods, we'll be seeing on our backend, but here it's going to be a specific method, and this is going to be the implementation on that particular baddie. Okay, so our enhancement implementation is going to be created, and we will be taken to add some logic here itself. So in the app itself, it will facilitate us to write a specific limited ABAP syntaxes here. So it's not going to be the full ABAP we'll be writing again. So it's going to be a limited version of ABAP code we will be writing, as this is for the SAP's perspective is designed for key users. So key users do not really need to have extensive ABAP coding skills. So it will be a limited version of it. So let me cancel this one. And this one is still getting published. That's fine, let it get published. And meantime, let us come to another application, that in the documentation, if you see here, the objects or the extensibility that we have here is massive. So app specific implementations, if you see, we have still more applications that we can use in our extensibility catalog. So yeah, that's fine. So we have navigated from here with this app documentation, a link available from Fiori apps library. But if you go to implementation information, And this is where we get all these tile information, configuration, and here we will not be having any role, but instead we will be having the SAP technical catalog. So if you see here, where is the catalog now? Yes. So this is the technical catalog available here. So from this technical catalog that we have seen, this technical catalog already when we were working on the catalogs, technical catalog. So that is where I picked up all these tiles and added onto our Thara development. So there is a business group available. So if the customer wants to have this extensibility, it's the description is going to be displayed as extensibility, and this group itself they can add to the customer user roles. Okay, and if we go back to the extensibility, what is this one? Yeah, let me pick up this extensibility, or you can type extensibility in the search here. And if you see, these are all the majority of them are showing with the extensibility scoped objects, sorry, tile apps, Fiori applications. The custom business objects is one of the a familiar application again. So this custom business object is very much useful for us, whereas we can straight away generate a transactional Fiori application. So whatever we have done so far using BOPF framework, the same is going to be generated by this application. So we have taken a code-based approach, but here it's going to generate from this application itself, all including business object, database tables, the draft tables, everything, the determinations, validations, actions, all of them can be controlled using this single app. But keeping in mind that the ABAP available on this particular extensibility applications is limited. If we want to write any extensive logic, then we won't be able to write on this custom business object. So how this is useful? Let us go ahead and look at this one. If you see the app documentation, again, how we can create or use this application is explained in step by step here. So create your own business objects and key features. And now overview and working in the custom business object app, create custom business objects. So how we will be creating and process steps, they are very explained in very detailed. So once we create it, and we can business until we publish the application. So once we publish it, then we will be able to add logic onto the custom business object. So here again we have some sample code as well, so available, but that's fine. Let me go ahead into the application. Custom business object, where is that? Custom business objects. So it is here. So I click on it, and it's going to show me the option to create a custom business object. And these custom business objects and the custom fields and everything, as they are created as objects in the backend system, so they will be available for all the developers, all the key users, whoever have access to these applications. Okay, so if someone developed a custom business object, and if some other developer or key user needs to pick up this for changes, then they can straight away come to this custom business object application and they can access it. So as I'm creating these objects, they are not only limited to my user login for view. You also can log in and look at those objects that I have created. And this one, the custom business object, if I want to repeat you how we have developed the BOPF based transactional application. So we have, as a first step, we have created the database table, and on top of it, we have created a basic CDSU, and on top we created transactional CDSU, and on top we have created a consumption CDSU. Then we have extended that with metadata extensions. So these all the layers are going to be generated as per our configurations we do here. So if you see, I'm going to create new custom business object, and I'm going to name this as Tara app. Okay, and Tara app is going to be identifier for me. And if we want additional identification, I would say CBO. Anyway, the identifier itself says ZZ zone, but the identifier is going to be CBO at the end. And name in plural. So if you see, this is matching to our what is that? Our annotation. So header info name, name plural name. Okay, so this is going to be our title. Let's say trip planner. Our entire trip planner can be created using this custom business object. So Thara trips, let's say, and scenario is going to be standard. And if you see this variant tables in AVC, but this is not going to be our variant, and this variant is a new feature, it seems. TVARVC table is there, right? So I think there is some linkage between these two, it seems. So if we want to create it as a variant and need to store it there, that it seems like that to me. But this is a new feature, even I want to explore on that one. So let's go with this standard business object, standard custom business object. If we create this one, it's what is our next step is going to be, if we guess, it's going to ask us to specify the number of fields or the list of fields that we need to create a table first. So if you see here, this is going to be the general information about this. And the wonder is, come on, quick. Okay, it is still draft. We haven't, we didn't ask you to publish this, but still it is taking time. That's okay, let it come back. We have to wait. So in the background, if you see, there are few things we can already see it. General information, nodes, fields, and logic here. So this nodes is going to be included with the our business object name, and fields, whereas we specify what are the fields that we are intending to create. And logic, this is where we include our logic for validations and etc. And to whether we need the logic or not, this is where we will be deciding. And if you see here, determination and validations, do we need determinations and validations to be enabled on this business object? If you click on this one, then you will be able to see the determination and validation in your logic, so that you can pick up and you can go ahead and write your logic. So yes, I want determinations and validations, backend service. If you see, if you click on this one, this entire application is going to be, the entire business object is going to be published as OData service. You don't even need to enter into your backend and do OData publish or anything. So as this is all generated, we will not be able to make any changes in the backend. Okay, so everything we will be accessing using this application. So this backend service, yes, I want this to be published as OData service. And also there will be another checkbox here if you are working on S4HANA Cloud. So S4HANA Cloud, there will be again a step forward, and there will be generate UI checkbox as well. So if you click on that one, this app itself going to generate a Fiori application for you, deploy it for you, and it's gonna give you a BSP application name for your tile registration. Okay, so that feature is not available for on-premise products. And here can be associated. So now we know the associations, what is going to be when we say association, what it is. So if we select this one, if we have another business object, then we can straight away go ahead and make this as an association there. Otherwise it can't be associated. Okay, and system administration data, and now we have seen this created by created that, changed that. So if you want this information, it's going to include this structure into your database table structure. And here again, if you want any change documents to be created for this particular business object, here we have an option. If you enable this one, whenever a change made in this particular table, it's going to be recorded or trigger a change pointer, CDHDR and see those tables, change logs tables. Okay, so we don't want to enable this feature at the moment, and but I think we can think about enabling this can be associated. That's fine. So this is what the general information tab. And if we move forward to the nodes, if you see here, we have the node which is Tara Trip Planner is the node name, and this is the identifier, and Tara Trip is going to be this one. And here you see create, update, delete options are enabled on this particular one. So if you don't want any of these operations, that so now you might be getting, okay, so where these checkboxes we have seen on our object business object, when we have generated a transactional behavior, a BOPF based one. So there also we had checkboxes like this. They are enabled with create, update, and delete options. So if we want to add any other node here, like trip items, so we can go ahead and create another node, new node, and the new node can be assigned in this particular place. Okay, so I don't want it right now. I'm not going to do that. So now let me go to the fields. So if you see here, these are the fields that we have selected in the general information administration fields. By default, there is one field here, the description field. And this field cannot be deleted if you see here, and also these fields, because they are the administration fields. So let me create new field for us, and this is where we will be creating the new fields. So let me say trip ID, and this is going to be trip ID is my identifier, and this is going to be the number type here. Let me say number, and tooltip is going to be again trip ID. And if you want to make it as a read only, you can make it read only. In our case, it's going to be the read only one, and length is going to be 10, and decimals is going to be 0 for this one. I don't want any decimals in this one, so that's perfect. So let me create another field here, from country or to country, whatever. So let me create from country, and my identifier is also going to be same, and in this place this is label trip ID, and from country is going to be tooltip as well. And in this case, if you see, we have more options here. So if we want to include any of the associations of the business object, so we can't add any other associations like existing CDSU or something like that. But instead, if we have any custom business object already created, and if this needs to be having a check or referencing to that particular business object, we can associate to that particular business object from here itself. And code list, and this is a wonderful option provided in this custom code list. So this custom code list is again another application. We will see that. So till now, what is the practice we are following is we are creating the domain level fixed values. So if we have any specific set of values, then we are straight away going ahead and creating them at domain level. So this is to avoid that way of doing it. So even now, if we see trip status, we have created domain level values, but in fact that has to be maintained in this custom code list, whereas it creates a translatable, easily translatable text included in a database table in the backend. And from there, if we want to publish that, we can easily create a wrap up CDSU, and we can publish that as a value help. We can use it. Right now, if we want to use the domain level fixed values, we have a lot of constraints. So we need to input the data element, the domain name, and we need to write our own logic each time and need to publish that as a OData service. But and if we want any maintenance is the main issue. If we want to add any new value, then obviously we have to make changes in the domain, and we have to take it forward. But in this case, we can straight away use all the Fiori applications. Still, we need to transport it. It's not like we can straight away make changes in the production. We have to make changes in the development, lock in a transport, and need to take them forward. So if you see we have multiple options available here from country, and as we do not have any other types, let me select this as a text, and it's not going to be read only, and this one is going to be 2-character. The country code basically we are looking at, and here we can decide the key. This is going to be my key here from country, and let me include another field. So if we keep adding, we will be keep adding these number of fields, but I do not want to do that. I'll stop after this. to country is going to be again a text field and is going to be to character. So now, yeah, that's fine. So I have defined my key fields here, key fields and the number of fields that I wanted. And now I can save this as a draft and I can publish it. So how we activate our development objects once we develop like that. So whatever we do here, we should be publishing this. Otherwise, it's not going to be generating anything in the backend. So in this place, if you see here, it is not published. And whenever we start publishing, it will show the progress for us, the published progress. And let me check my previous custom logic, custom fields one. So the custom fields, I think I'm not sure if that is already published. Let us check that one. That is again depending on this one. If this has already published, then we can straight away go ahead and publish our custom business object. So it's taking a bit time. Perfect. This is published. And okay. That's fine. Let us come to this in a while. Let us go back and publish that one. Anyway, that is going to take some time. And meanwhile, I think we can check this one. Okay. Come on. So let me publish. So if you see, business object would not be published because of conflicts. What is the conflict? Trip ID one of node. The key indicator cannot be set for the type of field trip ID one of node Tara app CBO. Okay, trip ID one. Who said this trip ID one? From country one. Okay, that's I'm not sure what is the conflict here. The key indicator cannot be set for the type of field trip ID. Come on. Number and cannot be associated, requires at least one root key field. That's okay. And no key definition. Let me define this as a key field. Not sure why it is not allowing. Business object would not be published because of conflicts. Let me trip ID Why is it so? Yeah, it's getting published now, but trip ID, we will change that to trip ID. So it is publishing now. It will even show us the progress here. That's fine. Let it get published. We need to change that to character field. For some reason, it's not allowing to create the key field with a number type. So meanwhile, let us come to the custom fields. And in the custom fields, let us check that one. And in this one, I think let's see whether we have the OData service. Business partner OData service available in our system. Yeah, API business partner, it is available. Let me load the metadata. And Thara custom. So if you see, the usage has been enabled in this one, and OData service for customers. So two OData services have been enabled. Let me check the metadata of this one. To metadata and execute. Yeah, we have the metadata, and let's look for our custom field. What is the custom field? ZZ1 underscore Tara custom. No matches. Business partner, where, what is the service? I don't see. OData service for business partner. This is enabled, that's fine, but I don't see that field here. Business partner, let us see at least if we have that in this place. Nope. But so if you see here in the BET 000, ZZ1 Tara custom field has been added, right? So this one will be included in the OData service as well. So as that is the place where we have chosen to include our field. For some reason, that field is not reflecting in the OData service. But let me choose this particular entity set, a business partner. let me include the JSON format. JSON format and top 2. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of time for us. So we don't want to wait. Even for top 2, it is taking time. Yeah, and let us see if we have this field. Nope, that field is not included in the Stride entity set. Oh yeah, no, it's a trading partner. Business partner identification, industry partner address, contact, role, tags to customer. This is the another business partner. No, I don't see it, but and dollar expand equal to customer. Let me say 1 to customer. Yeah, it is expanded. No, I don't see, for some reason in OData service. It has to be enhanced in OData service for sure. But if you see, we haven't made any changes in the BUT 000 table, whereas this is the main data model, the data source for business partner, business partner point of view. So it has created an append structure, and it has included our Tara custom field here. So the same, the label name we have given in this one. Yeah, our field name is Tara custom, and the same is going to be the label as well. If you see the label and the tooltip, everything is going to be same, and the same has been included in this BUT 000. So I see some extension created here. Let's see if that is ours. No, this is not ours. Okay, that's fine. BUT 000, and refresh it once again for myself. Yeah, so now we have created a custom field, and then our next step would be data source extension, I think. So this is not published yet. Let us go ahead and publish, and before that need to check something here related to the master data business partner. So manage material, no, business partner. Do we see business partner somewhere? B. No, we don't see any business partner related things here. That's fine. So let me go ahead and publish this one as well. I'm guessing the custom business object might have already published. Let us see if we don't receive any error, then our custom business object have been already published. Yeah, let me go back and pick up the custom business objects. Yes, this is published right now. And if you go into your custom business object, once it is published, and then in the logic, if you go to logic, if you see these two things have been enabled for your determination and validations. So before publishing this business object, these two will not be enabled. And if you click on edit draft, so again you are creating a draft for this particular business object. That's what it means. Okay, and in the draft mode, we will not be able to create any of the logic. So once it is published, then only we will be able to create logic. But if if we want to create any of the actions, if you see here actions, we can create new action. And let me say approved trip, and identifier is also going to be approved trip. And let me publish this one again. And as we know, we need to implement logic for action as well, right? So it is now in the process of publishing. Let it publish. Come on, quick. Yeah, this is published now. So now we see 3 links enabled for adding our custom logic at this place. So I think changing the key field might not allow once we create it. Let me again, if we want to make any change, we have to click on edit draft. From country is not going to be our key field. I just wanted to change the key field to trip ID, and this one I'm going to make it as a text, and let me give it as a 10, and I will just make it as read only. Oh, come on, I didn't select the key field. Let me change this to key field. Let me publish it. So I think it is allowing us to change the key field. Publish the business object can cause data loss. Yeah, that's fine. So we don't have any data at the moment. Yeah, it is publishing. Yeah. So 56%. 68, 71. Yeah, published. That's fantastic. So now if you see, even we have the logs. So whenever it has got activated and what it is getting created and etc. What are the list of objects it has created? Every information will be available here. And if you go to logic, and here after modification, let me try to open this one. And once you click on this one here, we have an option to create a draft for this one. So here also this publishing the logic is separate from the publishing the business object. So let me create draft for this. And here we have some instructions populated on onto our business object. So this is the right side is the published logic for us, and left side we can write our own logic here. So here the parameters mainly we are worried about the parameters here. So after modify determinations, and node ID is going to be this one, okay, and importing parameter association navigation to parent child node instance, right? API creating and updating custom business object node instance. Changing parameter is going to be Tara app CBO. So this is going to be the changing parameter here. So in this case, if we want to write any of the selects or something like that, so it's the same how we write here. LV, what is that? The trip ID, or we can again trip ID type char 10. And if you see, the char 10 is not allowed. So in this case, we will be specific about the data types. Let me write like so. Control space also should work here. So if you see, control space is working here, but I do not want this to be the object type. For example, right now, what we do, so in this case, if you look at these parameters, so we will see this trip ID here. So trip ID, I just wanted to populate with something. And if you're really keen about to know what happened in the background, so let us go to the backend Tara app CBO into your Eclipse, and try to open here ZZ1 underscore this one Tara app CBO. If you see, these are all the things have been created in the background. So even including the metadata extensions, if you see, so they all generated for us. So if we have any of the simple requirements that we can achieve using the custom business objects, then straight away we can go into the custom business objects and we can create the custom business object. So the major use case for this one is if we have something, we have some application, or we have some constants like the list of plants or list of company codes or any of the mappings which business users will be needing to maintain, like we do in our BRF plus. So we can take this custom business object as an alternate to the custom table maintenance and BRF plus maintenance, and also the domain level value maintenance, TVA, RVC maintenance. So we can avoid all these kinds of maintenances, and we can straight away come here and create a custom business object, and we can maintain all the list of values here as a configuration, and we can use this across the S4HANA system. So as we see, the number of or list of objects that are created, as there is a CDSU also created, we can straight away use this CDSU wherever we want. So copy the CDSU and take the CDSU and go ahead. and this OData.publish true annotation has been added because we have selected yes, I want this to be published as a OData service. And even this is providing some extra thing that we can, the external systems, whichever we see, the non-SAP systems, they can utilize these configuration values what we have configured in our S4 system. So provided we can give this CDSU name to them, sorry, this OData service name to them, and they can straight away go ahead and use this OData service. And the only step we need to do is, so we just need to come into the service catalog for this one, and we just need to register this OData service. That is the only step we wanted to do it. And if you see, I'm just registering this service, which is straight away available for us in service catalog. So and if we look at this business object and classes, everything, as we already know what's going to happen and how the business object and metadata will look like. So we are familiar with that information actually. So, and if you see here, the object model annotations, and this is the main important one we wanted to look at. This is the table name that has been generated in the runtime. So whenever we click on publish, and this is the table name. So, but um, please be mindful that do not use this table name anywhere in your programs. Okay, so instead you just refer to your CDS view, and also there will be ABAP view also created, SQL view, and do not use this SQL view also in your programs anywhere. So now if you want to do any of the queries, and also we see the metadata extension has been created for this one, and if you see the metadata also included for this one. So we will be generating a Fiori application for this in a while. So before that, we just try to write some ABAP code in this place. So I just need to select no, select single max of trip ID from this one into data LV trip ID. Okay, so I think I shouldn't be writing this at the rate. And now if you see, I'm writing the same CDSU here. So let me if Sai Sobasi is initial, and if, and this one I'm just going to increment 1, and I'm going to populate the trip ID here. So that's what is running in my mind, +1. Okay, so else, so nothing found, then just mark it 1. So this is going to be only first time. Okay, so that's perfect. Saved and publish this version. So I'm publishing this code, and if you see published, and this code has been published for us. So and in here you have even the testing possibility here. So we can give some information, whatever create the information, we can simulate it, and in the bottom you can see the test results, how how your determination is working out. So for example, let me give the from country as GB and IN. Let me give this OK, and where is this one? Yeah, and OK. Trip ID character 10 and come on. Test results, we can test this one. Yeah, it should run our determination on the fly, but it's not okay. Test. So if you see here, our trip ID has been generated as 1. Okay, as there is nothing in the database table, so it has generated 1 at the moment for us as a testing. So it's a okay, that's cool. Let me go back. So now we have determination, and let me add a this is the determination after modification, and here before save there is a validation as well. So let me go ahead and add some validation here. So again we have some instruction at validation. So if we have any errors, then this is how we will be reporting our error messages. And importing, again it's going to be the same. So this is the node that we will be having, and we will be validating something based on our importing parameters. So in our case, what I'm trying to do is, if a trip has been already created with the from and to countries, then just report a message saying the trip has been already created for you. Okay, so let me do that. Select a single abap underscore true from, what is that, CDSU name, and this is the CDSU name. Let me use the CDSU name, and where I want the from country from country equals to I have the from country, the running from country here. So it's going to be from country and to country equals to country and created by. Where is my created by? So created by user. SAP created by user equals to soy uname into LV exist. So again it's a same. Or LV exist is not initial, then end if and report the message. So this valid is going to be by default true. So whenever our validation fails, then we have to make this valid equals to false. So in this case, we are going to make this as a false. And also we will be sending a meaningful message to the framework. The message is going to be like from and to two countries, and attribute, what is the attribute name the field has to highlight. That's what the attribute here. So I would say the from country, let's say the from country. That's perfect. We have added some validation. And one more thing I wanted to tell you here is, if you write any direct database tables here, for example, from Mara table, okay, where Matner is not equal to space into so in this case, let me, so in this case, if you see, we have a marker here, use of table Mara is not permitted. So this is why I said the limitations, not only Mara, we won't be able to access majority of the objects. So even let me see if I can pick something here. Where is this one? Wrap header. This is our not this one, and this is our CDSU which we have created. And let me go ahead and use this particular CDSU, and the customer namespace objects which are created are allowed, but sometimes even these are not allowed to use. So if you see, even this CDSU is not allowed to use in the limited ABAP code. So sometimes this is not exactly what the business wanted, but here we have something in our CDSU. So if you right click on this one, and here you see the API state. So in this case, you have to come to your API state, and this is add usage system internally, which is a C1, and add you use as a remote API contract C2. So these C0, C1, C2 are the statuses that we will be seeing in our CDS views. So if something has delivered by SAP like this, if I go into this CDSU, if you right click on this one, and API state, if you see here, and it will tell us how this CDSU has to be used, and what is has been released for the customer here. So C2 for remote usages, it is not enabled for remote usages. So this is where something we should come and see. And if we change this one from this status using cloud development, and so this is where we just need to come and enable this for usage. Okay, so as I was saying, we can connect on-premise systems to the cloud environments, cloud ABAP instances. So it is not only enough for you to establish a destination in your BTP, but instead, whatever the objects you need to use in your cloud developments, then you have to come into your on-premise system, and you have to whitelist these CDSUs or the objects, whatever you create here. Then only you will be able to use them on your cloud instances, or like this, whatever we are exploring now. So we have to release it for the usage. So if you see, the release status is released at the moment. Okay, but if you will be able to see some of the CDSUs are not released for the remote usages. And in here, let me go into our custom CDSU, and let me change this app status and add extend. So user can extend this particular CDSU. If we are developing a product, then it is really worth releasing it as an extend. And C1 system internally contract, and we can try this. And if you see, these are all the checkboxes, how we need to enable this one. So if you read through it, use in cloud development, use in key user apps, if you see, the use in key user app is blank at the moment. So right now, whatever the development we are doing is related to the key user apps. And what are the options available for C2? If you see, go to app state and remote, and it is just only remote usage, just release it. So in our case, what is relevant? C1 state is the contract state. C1 is relevant for us. So let us go ahead and release it system internally, use it in key user extensibility, and authorization default, enable configuration of authorization default value. So if you have any access controls and etc., if you want to enable that one, so again, if that is being used in cloud development, then we can just check or select this box again. So if we have anything specific, not release or not to be released, and the status like this, we can even have that control to specify particular CDSU is not released. But in this case, we want to release this one. Let's go ahead. So using key user apps, let it go and change this particular CDSU status for us in the system. So that is where we see this as a limited limited ABAP usage. So let's go ahead. Yes, that's fine. Store in any of the transport. So now this particular CDSU has been status released. So let me go ahead and add it again. So if you see, it automatically checks the status of this particular object, whatever we are using, and it goes ahead and does the checks for us. So let me include it in the beginning so that there will be no impact for us. So this is to check the released basically C1 allowed to be allowed to use in key user. So same principle is applicable for other custom logic, custom fields and logic, whatever we see. So all the places wherever we have this custom code can be included using the key user extensibilities. All the places this is applicable. So not only this place, this is applicable. So now we knew that if this particular object of on-premise has to be used in the BTP ABAP environment, then obviously we need to release this particular API object CDSU for usage. So this C0, C1, C2 contracts are, I think they are only available for CDS use. So majorly the development focus is going to be the CDS use. So I haven't seen the C0, C1, C2 contracts for other objects, but if at all need to check, we need to check that one. So basically data sources we will be using for data fetch and etc. So this is what the contract status which we need to be knowing about. So sometimes if we are if you are facing, okay, this is not permitted and still you see in your customer namespace, then why it is not permitted and etc. So that is the exact reason. If you go and enable it for usage C1 contract, then you will be able to do it. So let me publish this version. So this code has been published. So let me go back, and now we have implementations for modification, determination and validations. And also we have published this as a service, and we can see the service as well here. What is the service and etc. Once it is published, we see the service, and we can take this service and go back to the service catalog and register this service. And after that, we can straight away go to the web IDE. Okay, so now we are just talking about this business object, and we have an option to generate this as an Fiori application. So let me go to our web IDE and new application from template list report again, same. So let me go ahead, ZTH custom CBO, let me name it CBO application. So custom business object application. So go ahead, next, and let me choose my backend system. Let it pull all the available services in the backend. Okay, so it has some issue. Let me restart the web IDE. Yes, it should work now. It failed to fetch the CSRF token from backend. Again, let me try this one. Custom business object application, and choose the backend. Is it going to happen again? post on behalf of null missing CSRF token in header. Okay, so it has some issue. Let me restart the web IDE. Okay, fine. Go ahead and log in. Okay, I think it should work this time. CBO application. Yeah. So let me paste my CDSU. If you see, the CDSU has been displayed in our list. So let's select this one and go ahead. So it is fetching the annotations right now for us. That's okay. And what is the entity set? If you see, we have only the entity set available in this particular one, and we don't have any navigations. That's true. That's okay. Let's go ahead and finish. Perfect. So our application has been generated right now. So now from here onwards, what we need to do, we know how we take this application forward on to register on Launchpad. Cool. Yeah, so there are no entries, and if you go ahead and create your object, you can create it. So let's go ahead and create, and this is the description that field automatically populated. And trip ID, we made it as read only. That's the reason we don't see any trip ID here. And from country, I see GB and IN. So if I save this one, and it's going to generate the trip ID for us, and also it's going to validate the entries. Mandatory key field, this has to be filled up. Come on, as we made this as a key field, it has to be filled up. That's okay. So now again we have to go back to our application, sorry, custom business object, and let me enable this one anyway. If we give some information anyway, that's going to be overwritten. For now, we deal with that like that. Okay, trip ID, remove read only. Now it's going to regenerate our business object and metadata extensions, everything. It is going to overwrite everything. And if you want to look at the business object, let me pick up this one here, and transactional processing enabled. So if you see, we have the business object. If you go into this business object, so everything has been generated. So if you go into a root node, the determinations, if you see, after modification, determination has been created here. Okay, so everything is generated for us. So now this has been published, And let me go back to this application. I'm guessing I don't need to regenerate the application. So let me go to create, and now trip ID has been enabled for us. So I can give 1, 2, 3. Anyway, it's going to overwrite for us. So GB, I'll select GB and IN, first trip, and let me save this one. So the trip has been saved for us. So if you see, so first trip GB IN and has been saved, and come on, this is the modification not applied, but we can check that one. If I change this to 2 or 3, for example, let me say, and GB and IN, what did I choose? Did I choose edit? I don't want to edit this one. Let me create another one. Okay, let me give 3 GB and IN with same key, same information, and again it has been created, but whereas it shouldn't create this one, it has to validate. Where is this? Yeah, and in this one, this is determination and validation. Mandatory fields before save. This is the one which we need to, and if you see this, all the code has been generated for us. And where is my message? So if we want to debug that particular code, we can straight away come here and open our the Eclipse, and we can debug that one. So let me create another one. GBIN. Anyway, that's going to be converted as so if you see, we have debugger came into the Eclipse, and from here we can take it forward how we want it. So let me execute this one, execute, and this is going to be the so LB attribute is 0. Logic runtime close HTTP client. So it is closing it, and it hasn't received any message. Valid is true. It hasn't received anything anything from the business object. That's what we see there. But if it is executed, let me bypass this one. Also, let me comment this one. So if it is yeah, this is correct. Else, let me say with the same country and uname. I'm not sure what this uname is being populated. I think we can see that in the app. Yeah, Thara1 is the created by user. That's correct. Attribute is going to be let me make it caps. From country valid equal to false, and this one message. That's correct. Let me shit. Okay. So this is the draft version. Publish. Oh my goodness. I think not pretty sure whether I published this code. Yeah, so we haven't published this code. If you see the draft logic and published logic, so that is the reason it is not triggering this one. So let me publish this one. We left that logic as in draft. Now we see this is published. That's perfect. So now let me go back to the app and refresh. Okay, create. That's okay. And whatever it is, GBIN. If I click on save, it's going to trigger my where is this key? Yeah. This code is generated by system itself? Yes, yes, yes. This is generated by system. Well published. Yes. Whenever we publish it, the system is going to generate all this code. So I've removed my breakpoint. If you see, trip already exists with same from and to countries. And whatever the attribute we specify there, and that's going to be reported onto the screen as well. So if I give some another country, and even the validation we can write from that itself, whether it is a valid country or not. So if I click on this one, it just generates it, and the even our determination worked fine. So it's a it has been incremented 5. So maybe some other calculation might be happening, because that is a character field. We need to treat it, handle it carefully. So right now it has generated 5, but actually there is 1 2 3 number. It has to, in my point of view, it should be 1 2 4, but it has generated 5. The algorithm, max algorithm, did not work, I think. So that's fine. So it was that we have put that as character format, right? Yeah, that's correct. Yes. So even if you see, we see the approved trip action as well. So if you have something return on approved trip action here, so we could see that approved trip action logic as well. So it has to be here. So if you go ahead into approve action, and if you see the importing and exporting parameters, we can see how we can implement this action this one as well. Okay, So now I see there is only message to say yes, the action has been executed. So no items information. So the action executed. That's it. And fine. So now we have generated the application, Fiori application as well on top of CBO, custom business object. And now onwards, we know how we can deploy this application and how we enable this application. So that's perfect. And going back to this one, how how do we transport this? How do we include this custom business object into a transport? So far we haven't seen the system asking for a transport, right? So, but of course we need to take this onto take this object, the developed object, up to the production. So if we want to take this to production, how do we take that? So for that also we have another Fiori application here, which is register extensions to transport. So I should see, yeah, export not that one. Mm, import extensibility template, configure software package, not that one. If you see here, this is the one. So register extensions for transport. If you get into this particular Fiori application, it will show you the list of custom objects that we have created and which package they are in and etc. And transportable, no, not transportable at the moment. And there is a editable version, you can edit. So transport request, if you include this into the transport request, and it will show you the transport request here. So right now I want to include this object, the one object, custom business object, into the transport. So first, what I do, reassign to package. You see a button available on top. So reassign to a package. So let me pick up my package here. So we can search our package. What is this one? Nope, I can't see reassign to a package. So maybe I'm missing the package setting here. Let me, okay. So assign to a transport request. Assign to a transport request for full retransport. Let me assign to this one of the transport request. So that's fine. I think cannot be assigned to full transport is only possible for okay, transportable, no, that is because we need to reassign to a package. I'm missing this package package configuration. I need to check that configuration. So this all the configurations, I think should be
showing something there itself.
oh, what is that? Yes, ATO setup is the transaction code. Let me go ahead and see. And sandbox package is this one, local package. So this is the local package ZZ1. So this is what I was saying, the settings. Okay. Register use for transport and namespace setup. Yes.
3 hours.
3 hours, huh?
Yesterday, I think heroes class కొంచెం bounce.
Okay. So this is anyway, this is not going to be our job, so that we are missing the configuration is missing, other than nothing else. So once we reassign this package, then we will be able to assign it to a transport request. So once the transport request is assigned to it, then that's it, done. So we can go ahead and take the transport across all the environments, whatever we wanted. So this is the finishing of this extensibility. So likewise, we have a number of tiles available here, and I would request you to have a look at creating some custom CDSUs. If you see here, user key user can create custom CDSUs as well. So
Oh,
from
right, we can create everything from here only, there through app only.
yes, so everything is created from here. So if you start creating the CDSU, it will ask you for the label and then name. Okay, so let me create one of the CDSU. If you see here, it's going to be the type of CDSU, the external API, analytical dimension, analytical cube. So whatever the type of CDSU we choose here, it's going to include relative annotations in the CDSU. So it doesn't mean it will have different database tables or something like that. So it will include the relevant annotations into the CDSU itself. So by this, how the key users will be doing this, they just create these objects and leave it for us, and hence we can straight away go ahead and make use of these CDSUs in ABAP programs. So that's
Like
how.
this is looks like a no code low code.
Yes, this extensibility is completely like that, but effectively, if you see, there are no validations, nothing has been included, but we need to build all the set of objects, and we need to establish the relationships and etc. in the meaningful manner. Then only the functionality how the business is expecting, they will work.
It's like we can compare these things with like SAP queries, right? Like SAP used to
Yes,
be.
so here we have a query view as well. So SQL explain, trace analytics, custom analytic queries, so custom analytical queries. If you see, so we have queries as well. So we can create analytical queries from here itself. So if we keep exploring this extensibility, we will be having this applications available for us. So if you see, they all custom analytics queries released and enabled, and we can make use these ones, and we can copy into our local, and we can make changes and etc. Okay, and also we have the KPI designers as well. The KPIs also we can design from here. And if you have,
So,
yeah.
but how we came to know these are the tiles we need to use, like these are the applications we need to use for these
So
extensions need to be done.
yes, so for this one, your customer needs to enable this catalog for you. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the single catalog where you can have all these applications, and also basis administrator must be having the deployment guide, product deployment guide from customer. So whereas they will list all the feasibilities, what is relevant for development, and what is low code no code approach, or the feasibilities they have, and they all will be shared with your administrator, your customer system administrator. And that is where they start setting up these, whatever is required, whatever they are using as part of their customer development platforms. Accordingly, they will be implementing or enabling these tiles. So not all the tiles might be available for you, but here we have all the tiles available. And as a as an advice for you, so you just start exploring this custom CDSUs and
Custom. Okay.
application jobs, and the tiles whatever we have seen right now. those tiles: custom fields, custom logic, custom business object, application job templates, and application jobs, and also the application logs. There is application logs as well. So they are all coming from SLG1. So if something gone wrong with your any of the application, and they all will be easily can be seen online and straight away. And there are workflow templates, email templates as well. So if you want to create any of the output management procedures, like output template, workflow template, like that, so it's a completely you can straight away go ahead and create your workflow templates from here. And there are more here. So query browser, again, as we have seen, we can go ahead and see the queries that are available on the system. And one more interesting tile is something starts with reusable inventory something. So whereas not register,
Custom
so
reusable elements.
yeah, custom reusable elements. Where
Yeah,
is,
both.
yeah,
Yeah.
custom reusable elements. So this also, you try to have a look at these custom reusable elements, whereas you can create a class here itself, class and method, and you can implement the logic, and the same class and method can be used across the system as a common functionality. Okay.
Then what is the use of Eclipse? We have the
No,
services.
again, yeah. So again, this is a limited version. So wherever the limited ABAP syntax and etc. So this is just a feasibility that we have as part of extensibility that SAP has provided, and we do not need to do anything else to use this application. Okay, so these kind of applications are called the lighthouse apps. So whereas if the customer buys the product, goes to the product, and these applications are straight away can be utilized without any development efforts. Okay, and also I think this custom reusable elements service might not be activated.
We can see this one.
I will check that one. And apart from that, you have wait. I have something, a couple of minutes topic here. Let me cover that one on refresh. So extensibility inventory. So if you go into your extensibility inventory, that is also part of that application. So here you will see all your objects that you have created so far. So this is all the custom objects, all objects at one place. Whatever you create, they all going to come into your extensibility inventory here.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot from here. Even you can do my inbox and etc. If you want to put a trace on your custom logic, custom fields and custom logic, whatever you have created on your extensibility, you can activate a trace here itself, and you can view what's going on and etc.
Ravi, in-app extensibility we are going to do for a standard only, right? Standard.
No, you can create new objects as well. So right now we are creating all new objects, right?
So it's a new we can do anyway, but most probably
it's on product. So in app extensibility, whatever you say, it doesn't mean creating the extensions using app. That's not the impression or understanding we should have. So we are creating extensions or new programs on our on-premise product.
it's like we are creating our own products.
Yes. Okay. So this is all about this extensibility. So there is a lot for you if you want to explore a bit. So you can go ahead into any of the application that is enabled, and if you're not aware how to work on this one, you go inside to this one and right click on top of your on your user ID and click on about. You will see a app ID here, F1572. And if you go to the apps library, you will see the app. If you input the app ID here, custom analytical queries, and once you go in here and you will have app documentation. So if you click on your app documentation, then it's all yours. So you will be seeing how and what is the history of this one, how it works, and how configurations, and if there are any prerequisites for this one, and next steps and previous steps, everything we will see the documentation for this one. So yeah, we will not be able to go each and every tile available on this extensibility, but a custom business object which is relevant for us. So we have gone into that one, and custom fields as well. So if we want to extend any of the OData services or CDSUs or data sources and etc., so we will be first coming here and looking at it. So this is the quickest or fastest way to extend the things delivered by SAP. And if this is not working out, then we will just go ahead into our CDSUs or etc., and we will create extensions to that extension views for the CDSUs that are available here.
Oh, directly if we are wanting to extend our CDS, we should
Yes.
come first here.
Yes, we can straight away come here and we can create an extension. So it doesn't mean that we are not allowed to create extension. We can extend the CDSUs. And in case the view entities, we know that ABAP catalog dot enhancement category has to be mentioned, like projection only, union, or the group by. So they have to be mentioned. Otherwise, we can straight away go ahead and create our extensions on that particular CDSUs. Okay. So this is what I had for today, the extensibility.
Changal,
Yeah.
app library, we have module wise all the standard apps delivered by SAP. Can we find it over there?
In this one?
Yeah, in app library.
Yes.
I want to see
yes
what are the standard apps delivered by SAP.
Yes. Yeah, module wise, in the sense SAP doesn't think that this is and this is SD and something like that, right? So they all drive in the areas of finance or reporting or something like that. So the areas wise, that is or SD or something like that, they are, I think, um, according to the customer how they treat it as. So if you want to find these apps, if you see here area wise, line of business, so this is what the SAP has. If you see here, supply chain and manufacturing, home and resales, finance, or something like that. Yeah, sales, like this. You see the number of apps also as well. Okay. Yeah.
So from this we can navigate. I mean, if you take any one standard application, then we can check the associated components, right?
Yes, of course. So count by. Yeah.
Oh, here we have to select the version also.
Correct. Yeah.
We are in 2020, right?
2021. Yes.
2021.
Initial shipment. Yes.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, how